So welcome everyone to our Lunch and Learn, our monthly Lunch and Learn. Today we're going to be talking about all of the wonderful services that NAMI Johnson County offers. And we believe that people are best served by others with lived experience. And so we have some wonderful programs that do just that. And we're going to be talking about those today. Welcome, Laura and Jenna, and they're going to be introducing themselves and talking a little bit today about what they offer. Take it away, Laura.
Sounds good. Thank you, Joanna, and thank you all for being here. We're really excited to have this virtual open house just to get to share more information about the services we're doing and what's offered by us in the community. So my name is Laura Semprini, and I'm the remote peer support coordinator at RPlace Peer Recovery Center, which is a program under NAMI Johnson County. I imagine all of you are familiar with NAMI since you're here. Anyway, I've worked at RPlace close to 4 years now. First as a peer support specialist in person at our wellness center. And Jenna and I are thrilled to be here and have the opportunity to present about RPlace and peer support in general. So we'll definitely save time at the end for questions, but if you have a question during the presentation, feel free to chime in and ask. Mary, you can go to the next slide, please. All right. So how many of you have heard of peer support before? You can just raise your hand or give a thumbs up. I think probably a lot of people here. Yep, I'm seeing some responses. Cool. So yeah, not everyone knows what peer support is, and we're working to change that because it is such a powerful service to support people with mental illness in their recovery. So you'll see on the slide here, what is peer support? It's advocacy and guidance from someone living in recovery who also has completed formal training, who provides one-to-one strengths-based support to other peers living in recovery. Now I'll hand it over to Jenna to talk a little bit about the work some of our staff do in roles as peer support specialists. So next slide, Mary.
Right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jenna Briasco. I'm the program coordinator for RPlace Peer Recovery Center. I'm also a trained peer support specialist and a NAMI connection facilitator. So as Laura explained what peer support is, I'll explain how we do it in practice. And so peer support specialists are individuals who are living well in recovery from mental illness. They are paraprofessionals that utilize their lived experience as a powerful tool to connect with the people that they work with. And in Iowa, we go through a state training provided by the Iowa Peer Workforce Collaborative through the University of Iowa. This training includes intensive and interactive sessions that cover the competencies set by Mental Health America and SAMHSA, as well as ethics of the field, the peer support specialist scope of practice, and preparation for the state certification through Iowa Board of Certification. And in practice, we inspire hope for recovery, walk with people on their recovery journeys, dispel myths about what it means to have a mental health condition and/or substance use disorder. We provide self-help education and refer peer clients to tools and resources. We also support peer clients in identifying and creating a plan to achieve their goals, hopes, and dreams. And as you can imagine, these interactions are key in keeping our peers safe and supported within the community, in addition to any other care plans that they may have. So self-disclosure is a powerful tool for empathy and advocacy, and I think it's very important. So where can you find a peer support specialist, and where do we work? We work all over the place in various mental health facilities, social service agencies, and other healthcare organizations, and also
you want to play hockey someday too, guys?
Peer-run recovery centers like RPlace. So at our center, RPlace in Iowa City is a great example, as we are entirely a peer-run wellness recovery center for adults living with mental illness. All of our staff are trained peer support specialists, like I said, myself and Laura included. So we are located in Johnson County on a major bus route near other supportive social services such as Community Food Bank, the GuideLink Access Center, and Shelter House. Accessibility is a major factor that we take into consideration, as all of our programming is low barrier and free. We are a program of NAMI Johnson County, which we all know. So that's why we're here. And we offer some of the signature support groups and programs that NAMI offers, and Laura will touch on that in a little bit. And so what does the R in RPlace mean? I've actually had many people ask me that question before. So it stands for 4 key components of what we are all about at the center: recreation, rest, recovery, and relationships. So our goal at RPlace is to provide a safe, accessible place for adults living with mental illness to experience these 4 pillars of stability. And often at the center, this will look like playing games, community engagement activities, arts and crafts, guided soft skills, as well as system navigation and resource referral. Next slide. I'll pass it on to Laura to talk about her work in the remote sphere.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Jenna. So I'll first just share a little background about what our remote peer support services, or RPS, what they look like at RPlace. So we began offering these services during the pandemic when RPlace closed for the in-person programming. And at its core, RPS is where our trained peer support specialists we have on staff provide one-on-one peer support during scheduled calls to peer clients over the phone, by Zoom, or by text. Peer clients with mental illness use these calls to talk about whatever has been on their mind, develop coping skills, get connected to resources and providers, and overall just receive support from someone with lived experience with mental illness, or as we say, someone who really gets it. Our peer support specialists are specifically trained on how to counsel members over the phone and over Zoom. And we're not a crisis service, so we do refer peer clients to local providers who are equipped to handle crises when the situation does arise. And although there are really important crisis services offered remotely throughout the state, these consistent scheduled one-on-one remote calls with peer support specialists is a unique service that we're very proud to offer. We use an online platform called Unite Us to take notes, store peer client information, and facilitate referrals. So throughout 2020 and into today, we have seen an increase in demand for remote peer support services. Right now, we have well over 50 individuals signed up, with more and more signing up each week as we expand our outreach into the community. And thanks to a grant through HHS, we're able to offer these services to anyone living in the state of Iowa, which is awesome. And while some participants in RPS also visit RPlace in person, many of these people signed up for RPS because they're unable or unwilling to visit the center in person, either for geographic or other reasons. This has been particularly important for homebound and immunocompromised individuals, and individuals whose mental health and other conditions prevent them from being able to attend in-person programming. Not too long ago, I did a presentation to representatives from all the access centers across the state, and I think I see Abby Ferenzi on here, who helped coordinate that effort to make that happen. And in the presentation, I told them all about our remote peer support services and that they can refer their patients to this program. We're also sharing flyers and information at therapist and psychiatrist offices, student health centers, public libraries, and lots of other places. We're reaching out to crisis services across the state so they know they can refer people to us who use their services once they become more stable. We're also updating our marketing and outreach materials to be in several different languages, and we use cultural competency to reach different groups. And also, thanks to the grant through HHS, we've been able to expand our hours, hire a lead peer support specialist who supports our staff and assists me in my supervisory role. We're constantly looking at best practices on how to improve our services, and our staff attend various trainings to update their knowledge on how to provide the best quality services for peer support virtually. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about our support groups. So Mary, you can go to the next slide, please. Okay. So our support groups at RPlace are still offered online, and we have one called Connection that's specifically designed for adults with mental illness. Family support group is for individuals and families who have loved ones with mental illness. And Hearing Voices and or Special Messages is a support group for individuals who have this unique experience. Since it is virtual, we have helped a lot of people access Zoom in order to participate. And our number of participants in these groups has grown. And while some people miss being in person, most participants have reported a sense of camaraderie and felt supported by other group members and the facilitators. So I'd like to close with just a couple stories about peer clients who do receive RPS from us. And the first one is from someone who I'll call Elle. And Elle receives calls from our peer support specialist twice a week and discusses the current state of her mental health, coping skills, and her goals for the future. Our staff have built rapport with her over time, and she feels a true connection to them. Elle manages serious mental illness, including hearing voices, on a daily basis. She has incredible insight and awareness about her own mental health and what coping skills and strategies work for her. Not too long ago, one of our staff members asked Elle if she would be interested in becoming a facilitator for one of our support groups. She was very nervous about this possibility and questioned her abilities, but our staff members encouraged her and told her we believe in her ability to do this. And she did go through the training and now facilitates the group about once a month. She really enjoys this opportunity to give back and help others. Elle has shared with us how integral our remote peer support calls are for her to maintain her mental health. She appreciates the check-ins and opportunity to talk with people who understand her. And the feeling is definitely mutual, as our staff really enjoy talking with her too. And the next story is about someone who I'll call Kay. And Kay has been receiving RPS for over a year now and talks to one of our peer support specialists and our family peer support specialist on a weekly basis. Kay originally reached out to our NAMI chapter looking for resources for a family member who struggles with serious mental illness, including anosognosia or the inability to perceive his own illness. And he also experiences delusions. So Kay wanted to learn how to best support him and strategies for communicating with him. And our peer support specialist who works with Kay has drawn on his experience with serious mental illness himself and delusions to coach her on how to talk to her family member. And when he was transferred to a different facility, our staff helped advocate for him and worked with Kay to ensure he was getting access to services and treatment he needed. Kay looks forward to talking with her peer support specialist and our family peer support specialist, and is so thankful for the dedication of our staff to helping her with her own mental health and supporting her loved one. Okay, good. That next slide is up there. These stories were just a couple short snippets about what remote peer support is all about. And Jenna and I are more than happy to answer any questions you might have. On the slide there, you see our hours, both for in-person and remote, our address, our website. So as far as this part of the presentation goes, I'll open it up for any questions that you all might have.
I like the fact that you have all ages represented, you know, because I think that's important too, to think about that kind of diversity.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's great to have our family peer support specialist on staff to work with family members. And it's not just kids, it's also loved ones experiencing mental illness and how to support those families, as well as our family support group. And all that information on how to join is on our website.
Okay. Well, I think I'll move forward now with the NAMI part of the presentation.
Thank you, Laura and Jenna, for giving us an overview of RPlace and remote peer support. Gosh, it's almost been a year now that the admin office moved out of RPlace and down the street to 1531 South Gilbert Street. And that is where you can find myself, the office manager, our walk manager, and soon to be more staff at the admin office. But a little overview about NAMI and how NAMI got started in Johnson County. So NAMI was started up in Wisconsin by a small group of family members wishing there were more opportunities around family members and trying to find services for their loved ones living with mental illness. So NAMI actually started out AMI, Alliance for the Mentally Ill, and has moved into the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and now more known as NAMI than our full name. We are one of the largest mental health organizations across the United States, but each affiliate is their own 501c3. So NAMI provides an array of services. We offer some of the programming that NAMI National offers. So NAMI National oversees us in the sense they provide us with all of our courses, with affiliate information, how to run our affiliate, and then help with the trainings for folks. NAMI Iowa implements all the trainings for us, and then locally we provide the training. So when we go to train facilitators, they go to a training of NAMI Iowa, and then come back to us, and then we implement the NAMI signature programs. A big part of NAMI is advocacy, making sure that our elected leaders know about mental illness, the impacts on our families, the impacts on the community. And so we have people advocating on those all three levels: national level, state level, and local level. We educate the community, but then we educate through our programming. And so what do we have for those? I'll come up to them the next couple slides, talking about what are our signature programs. And then we do awareness events, our NAMI Walk program. We table at lots of community events to educate our community on what NAMI is doing. And then support. How do we provide support in our community? We do that through our support groups, the NAMI Connection that Laura talked about, and our family support group. And all of the best part about what NAMI has to offer, all of it is offered at no cost to the participant. And we do that through our fundraising efforts to provide all of our programming at no cost. And so advocacy at the state level, we have the NAMI Day on the Hill. I think a lot of the people on this call have attended our NAMI Day on the Hill. NAMI Iowa kind of prepares the legislative priorities. I know recently we got to participate in a poll of like, what do we think is important this year for Iowa. And a big thing that happened, and I don't remember the year, was the implementation of the complex needs bill. And that is a lot of what happened within that was from our NAMI advocates, and we thank them so much for all they do. And as I said before, NAMI Iowa provides our leadership training to run our programs. And then oh, I need to update my slide here. The Office of Consumer Affairs recently updated their name. So, and then how do we advocate locally? We advocate with our local elected leaders and serving on coalitions and committees across the community, making sure that we're a part of things that are happening in our community, upcoming events, making sure we're part of the referral network. Our educational programs, we offer the signature programs, and I'll get into those more in depth in the next couple slides. And then our weekly support groups. And RPlace peer recovery is unique to NAMIs. Not all NAMIs organizations have RPlace peer recovery or remote peer support, and so we're excited that we're able to offer that as part of our services. So Laura kind of went over NAMI Connection, weekly support group, still providing it on Zoom. We also have a class called NAMI Peer-to-Peer, and it's an educational program for adults living with mental illness, taught by others living with mental illness who are in recovery and able to teach the class. And yeah, it's an 8-week class, and we have one actually coming up starting in October. We also have our family support group that happens every Thursday evening. And then NAMI Family to Family for the loved ones, family members, those with lived experience. They also receive very similar training to the peer-to-peer to learn about what are mental illnesses, how do I get my family member the support and treatment that they need, and also empowering the family to sometimes rebuild the relationship with their loved one. I have had several times where family members have come back and said, I feel so bad of how I treated my loved one when they were ill, and family to family opened my eyes to how we can rebuild our relationship. Ending the Silence is a program where 2 team members go into our local schools and give a presentation about early warning signs. This program is run out of our NAMI Iowa office, but we do provide volunteers from NAMI Johnson County to help with those presentations. In our own voice, we have 4 individuals currently that go out in the community and provide in our own voice presentations. Right now, we've had the opportunity to give monthly presentations to 3rd year. Laura, can you correct me? Are they psychiatric residents? Or
They're med students starting their rotation in psychiatry.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the group.
Yeah, Laura is one of our presenters for that program, and it's a wonderful opportunity that we've been given to share experiences with our future medical providers. So they have understanding of the individuals they will be treating or are currently treating. And yes, like I said, monthly presentations, but we also have given presentations for in our own voice to local churches, to local civic groups, women's clubs, just educating our public on mental illness and the impacts in our community. And then provider education, also run by our NAMI Iowa office, but we provide local volunteers to help with that as well. And this is more in-depth than in our own voice presentation to people who are medical professionals and helping provide empathy for those medical professionals that they're treating individuals usually on a really bad day of their lives, and that empathy is ever so important for not only the person with the lived experience, but then also the family members. So some of our community partnerships that we have, GuideLink, Access Center, Access to Independence, Shelter House, DVIP, Communities Mobile Crisis Outreach, and UIHC Crisis Stabilization Unit. All these entities we work with directly, and many others throughout our community, connecting into our NAMI programming and what we offer at RPlace and our remote peer support. So a little bit about the walk. I think most of the people on the call already know about our walk, but when I was going through the slide presentation to get ready for today, I was like, oh, these are fun. These are some photos from our prior year walks prior to the pandemic, when we had several years of remote walks. And I just thought they were fun to kind of go through our walk. And, you know, yes, it's about fundraising, but it's also about raising awareness in our community about NAMI and the work that we do, and to show individuals with lived experience how much support they have in the community, even on rainy days. It's one of our years where I think we packed like 500 people into the lodge. I thank everyone for coming today for our presentation. We're always open to people coming by and getting tours, stopping and visiting with us, reaching out, letting us know how we can partner in the community. And so now I will open it up if people have questions. And yes, we've already have the date for the 2024 walk, May 4th.
What is different about the signature programs than other programs? I hear the
So the NAMI signature programs are any of the ones, if you look at, they say NAMI, like NAMI family to family, NAMI peer to peer. So those are our signature if they have the NAMI in front of the logo. We have some other things that are a part of NAMI, but aren't necessarily a signature program yet. Like when before Ending the Silence, it had another name, and I think it was called Visions for Tomorrow. And so that wasn't a signature program until NAMI made it their signature program.
Just kind of like a brand. I mean, it's NAMI's
Yes.
program. They own the so to speak. They own the program. It's their program, whereas some without that designation are maybe used by other programs.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we kind of we're trying to get off the ground a program called NAMI in the Lobby, which would not be a signature program, even though we call it NAMI in the Lobby. That's kind of our local program.
How would we become instructors of something like Ending the Silence?
That's a very good question, Joanna. So
I have a good answer.
Okay, go for it, Liz.
Well, I am working with that Lamar guy. Here we go. Lamar at the state level, because he needs people to do the Ending the Silent. You have to be a member, a national, you have to have your dues for NAMI. And then Lamar, then you review the program, then Lamar coaches you, and then he's getting requests for November. So I just talked to him on a Zoom call this week. Okay, because they really want to get the word out there.
Okay,
And the training's all remote, correct?
The trainings are remote. Yep.
For that
I'm
program.
I'm working on that. And if Joanne wants to do it, I can connect her.
that'd be great. Thanks, Liz.
Okay.
And then the same thing is for the NAMI provider training. They're looking for medical providers, family members, and people with lived experience. And there is some of that that's done remotely, and then like a weekend-long training to learn how to provide the training. Okay, any other questions? I feel like we kind of flew through the information.
I always forget how much we do. This is always a good reminder.
And you do a great job, Joanne.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about next month. Next month's Lunch and Learn is entitled Catch It, Check It, and Change It with Cognitive Behavioral Social Skills Training. It's an evidence-based group therapy for adults with schizophrenia spectrum conditions. So it's going to be taught by a couple of grad students in Amanda McCleary, who is on our board. It's in her group. And these folks are very excited to be able to offer this information to us. So that'll be next month. That'll be October 18th. Same time. So look for that invitation in our newsletter and on our social media.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. And thanks for all you do, all of you.